it was so affirming and empowering. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. It was so empowering to have students come back and their parents be there and just so happy and clearly feeling appreciated, feeling understood, and that their artwork and their ideas and themselves have value. Okay. People who cry. I'm one of them. Greetings, good things, and welcome back to the Plan and Story podcast. I am your host, Carman Tyra, and we are broadcasting here from the Muwekma Bay Area, Yay area, otherwise known as San Jose. It has been a moment since I've sat down in front of the mic, and I felt it would be appropriate to start with a note on happiness. Today is July 24th, maybe 23rd, 24th. We're here broadcasting from the Muwekma Yay, so I am tuned in to what's happening in the world. And it took me a moment to sit back in front of the mic because it felt for a time that joy was frivolous and definitely dealing with survivor's guilt for all of the things that I'm aware of that are happening throughout the world that are not all happening in my backyard. So if you want to learn about the battles that I am concerned about, I highly recommend following Al Jazeera World News, following So Informed on Instagram, or following myself on Instagram because I do my best to share resources, how to contact your reps, all of those things so that we can change what we need to change. And joy and going to these events, being present, showing up, it does the mission of what I've stated this podcast to be, to inspire joy and to inspire community. And by showing up and being supportive, we're honoring the work of organizers, the people that bring us together. Typically, I know someone or am down to meet someone that is at these events, and that is part of it all also. So we live and we learn, and we live, and hopefully with every day that we live, we get to change something and change it for the better. I've still been out and about, just less inclined to share. And I think that was very important for me as well, is why am I doing this? Am I just doing it for the pod, or am I doing it because this is genuinely how I live my life? And by doing it without eyes or without the intent to share necessarily, has really affirmed that to me, that this is the way I live my life. This is the way that I find joy in living. And I'm so grateful to be living in the area that I am. There's a lot to catch up on, but I feel like might as well just start with this most recent weekend of events, really getting to enjoy San Jose as well as the cities just slightly south of San Jose, which is really exciting. Starting off with Me Rad, I have to disclaim that all the views that I share on this podcast and on my social media are of my own. I do work for an incredible artist service organization called Local Color, and it is such a privilege. I'm trying not to cry already just from the recollection of the event. But we did another round of Me Rad, which is a youth program. It's a cohort model. All of the youths get a $100 exhibition stipend, and additionally, they get the opportunity to sell prints or whatever they're able to make, depending on what the medium was. There were two lead artists that we got to work with, Miguel Ozuna, who led a photography and mindfulness cohort, and then Jessica Carman Evangelista of the Jam, super wonderful, and led a another mural arts cohort. It was so affirming and empowering. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. It was so empowering to have students come back and their parents be there and just so happy and clearly feeling appreciated, feeling understood, and that their artwork and their ideas and themselves have value. Okay. People who cry. I'm one of them. But this is what I mean. The world is so heavy right now that like every little win, every little happy moment just like feels tenfold for me right now. And I hope there's other people that can relate. I've been doing, that's a previous weekend story, but on my friend's advice, I've been reading this book about acceptance, commitment therapy, and really just trying to ride all the waves of my emotions, not trying to overly control what's happening or what I'm feeling. So that was really, really wonderful. The artwork that they created too, for the photography cohort, they all responded to different prompts, just looking at their surroundings, someone in their family that they love and that they want to honor, a self-portrait of themselves, and like how they responded to the prompts was totally up to them. Love that about photography. Definitely kind of takes me back to the days when I was in school for photography, and like, yeah, you get the assignment, but then how you execute the assignment is, you know, really up to you. And then there's also whatever the camera that you're using wants to do as well. And then the weekend continued, and have to give a special shout out. If you do already follow me on Instagram, then you heard me say this. But I feel like there's like 3 solid categories for missing out on things. There's the fear of missing out, which is just anxiety. There's the joy of missing out, which I often experience because there's so many things. There's no teleportation yet, so you can't go to everything, but it's still very exciting to know what is happening and what's going on. And then there's missing out and knowing that you missed a good time. And so I missed out, and I know I missed a good time at the Digital Underground event. The homie from Intentional Affairs, Zuri, was working the door. I was a part of the Woo event series, which DJ Lexappeal is one of the main curators of. There were so many cool DJs there. I'm so sad that I did not get to just shake it out and dance. And that's okay. That's okay. So, I'll be staying tuned and waiting for the next one. So that's my honorable special shout out to an event that I did not get to go to, but super, super appreciate all the effort and organizers behind it. Additionally, just got to jazzercise myself with some energy and made it down to South County, Gilroy in Santa Clara County for the opening of the Clove Art Complex. Like, incredible, aspirational, had a beautiful show celebrating Zoot Suit culture, and everyone was like decked out. There was beautiful, super rare lowriders. All of the artwork kind of had themes of Zoot Suit culture, so like paintings of the style of family members, photographs. There was some sculpture. It was just really, really incredible to see. And the fact that all of this is new just tells you how everyone else is starting to invest their time and seeing the importance of these efforts and coming together over art as a tool to bring us together. So it was really, really great to see a few friends there, like Jessica Evangelista and her partner Augie. Of the two of them make up the jams. So it was really cool to see them and their piece, and just to see that space. It's an old historical building that piece by piece is being bought up by someone in the community who's giving back to the community and keeping these spaces as community spaces. Like, yes, like every single step of the way. And it is the community members that are activating it and curating it. There's a little shop inside. There's a cafecito restaurant inside. Missed out on a lobster roll. Like, I'm always on the hunt. I know we're in California, but I don't know. Lobster rolls are just so good. Truly, they are. And so it was just a really beautiful moment, and was able to muster the energy to be there for about the last hour or so. And then I made my way down to Seaside, California, which is technically in the Monterey Bay area. Learned so much, again, just from the locals on like the geography. I've, been to Monterey, the city, and the Monterey Bay Aquarium, that it was so incredible to just like sit and like see the whole cove. And as soon as you get there, you can just smell the ocean. But I went to check out this event at Brother Brewing Co. By this other dynamic duo that is curating events of the Funky Encounter. But it was really, really cool. It was a set of 3 DJs, and it was all kind of like disco funk. There was some weaving in of some new modern music with like funky beats under. So even though I didn't make it to the first event that I mentioned, I did get to cut the rug on the dance floor. It was such a wonderful event, and it's so important to like travel. And then also that was the first of that event too. So yes, people doing new things, like people will come. People are looking and waiting and needing these kinds of activities, again, that just inspire joy and bring us together on the dance floor in an art space. However, like people just need it. And yeah, so made it till close, and it was really, really nice. And the place was really cool as well. I think I first found it because there's an artist that has done their branding. I'm spacing on their name right now. You're incredible. Your bingo flyers got me hella hard. So did not go for bingo, but I will be back for bingo. And but we'll also be back just to cut a rug. It's nice to have another place. I'm definitely like a diehard Love Supreme fan up at the Knockout in San Francisco. However, it is nice to have another place to go to where it's a guaranteed good time, and you know that other people are going to be dancing with you on the dance floor. Sorry for the wallflowers, but sometimes, sometimes. Anywho, rounded the weekend out at the new Museum of Los Gatos for an incredible show. I honestly do have to just go back. I still want to mention it because that opening art show energy is just like so, like, it can be just really overwhelming. And I feel like I was on the overwhelming tip this last weekend, but still just really appreciated being able to see some of the artists that were exhibiting, say congratulations, tell them how awesome they are to their face, not just on the interwebs. So that's really, really special. However, I did not get to sit with all of the pieces as much as I probably would have during any other hours of the show. So I will be back for sure to enjoy all the pieces. I don't even know how many in total, but it was curated by Gen Arts, which if you are listening and you are in the Bay Area, you're an emerging artist or have been in the field for a while, and maybe you're just kind of creating out on your own. Maybe you want to learn some business administrative skills or just be a part of making these opportunities happen. I know that they're definitely looking for volunteer support always. This is such a heavy lift, so shout out Stephanie Barajas and everyone else that I'm forgetting to mention that has did a huge part in making this possible. Thank you on behalf of the arts. So I feel like that's a lot already. I'm always trying to like make these a little bit on the shorter side. Forgive me that this one was a bit of an unstructured ramble. As I catch up, we're definitely going to be doing some non-linear time hops because there's so many events that I've been to that deserve to be talked about, deserve to be uplifted just in case you didn't make it, or there was definitely people there. I was not the only person at any of these events. However, I think it's important to like remind people that things are happening. And if you're able and are excited, then go out and find what's happening in your community. And if you see the person behind the desk, the person running around and making sure that everything is going right, like stop them and just say thank you. It's so rare. And it's very, very important. This doesn't happen without them. So before I go in another circle or start crying again, I think I will close this out and say thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.